Okay, I've now added the water. I want this to be super easy, so instead of worrying about taking out your thermometer, if you even have one, what I usually do is I run the water on my hand, and if it's a little bit warmer than my hand, then I know it's good, because your regular body temperature is 98.6. So if it feels warm but not scorching hot, then it's at a good temperature. Okay, we'll just let this sit for a little bit. All right, this has been sitting for about 10 minutes. You can see it's nice and foamy. So that means that my yeast was alive and active, and we are ready to go. And see how this dough easily tears? So that means it's not ready yet. We want it to be nice and elastic. Alright, so this is looking good. It's not sticky. You can see the sides of the bowl are pretty much clean. The bottom's pretty much clean. So it's looking pretty good. And it's not, as I stretch it, it's not breaking up as easily. It's a little bit more elastic. Alternatively, if you don't have a mixer, you can just knead it by hand. So once the dough, at the very beginning, once you're adding the ingredients and the dough comes together and it's a little crumbly, you can just put it on a floured work surface, and this is how you would knead it by hand. You just use the palm of your hand, turn it a quarter way, fold it, and then like this. It will not affect the taste at all. It's just a little bit more elbow grease, that's all. So this is how you would do it. Obviously this is a lot easier because it's already been kneaded in the mixer, but I just kind of wanted to show you the technique. All right, that beautiful dough. I'm gonna put it back in the bowl just so I don't dirty another bowl. And I'm going to add a drizzle of olive oil, just so as it rises, it doesn't stick to the bowl. I'm gonna cover it with saran wrap. I'm gonna let it sit for about an hour and a half. Okay, so this has been sitting for about 2 hours, and you can see it's doubled in size. What I'm gonna do next is I'm going to, if you've ever made bread or read the recipe for how to make bread, it says to punch it down after it has risen. It doesn't mean like literally punch it down. Be gentle to your bread. So you just kind of, like I was showing you how to fold it by hand or how to knead it by hand. That's kind of what you want to do. And the reason for that is to redistribute the yeast for the second rising. All right, so what I'm going to do now is put it on my sheet pan. Whenever you have a bread that has yeast in it, you'll notice as I'm pressing it down, it shrinks back. If that's happening to you, just let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then in that 5 minutes the gluten will relax, and then you can kind of spread it out without it shrinking back so much. Now I'm going to cover it up and get it ready for the next rising. Just gonna cover it loosely. Now, depending on how thick you want your focaccia, I'm just kind of making this rustic, and it's gonna be thick enough to do a sandwich with. If you wanted it thinner, you could spread it all the way out, but I want it to have a little bit of body so it can go make it into a sandwich. Okay, this has been about an hour. This is my favorite part. I don't know why. I think this is so much fun. But you just kind of take your fingertips and press down on the dough to create these little holes in there so it can hold the olive oil. You can just drizzle some on top. You can just use your hands or use a brush to kind of make sure it's all covered with olive oil. I like to use my hands. Do you see the little heavenly dips of olive oil in there. It just depends how much you like. Okay, maybe one more, just for good luck. Now we're ready to put it in the oven. Okay, it's been 30 minutes, and I'm gonna take the bread out of the oven. Oh, that is gorgeous and yummy, and it smells so good.